Salam everybody. If you have come across this video, either you're looking into homeschooling your kids or you are already a homeschooling family just like us. We've now been doing it for 5 years, and so this video is going to tell you all about the basics, about how we homeschool our kids, a little bit about the programs and books that we use and curriculum that we use. So hopefully it's a good starting point for you if you are looking to homeschool. So here's some of the reasons why we decided to homeschool. We actually did a full video just on that alone, but here's a brief story as to why.
Number one thing for us as Muslim parents, as parents in general, we never wanted our children to be bullied. So we didn't want that for our kids. There's many things that are taught in the Western school systems that we don't agree with as parents. So our oldest, who is now turning 10 this year, was in preschool right when COVID happened. So we had to pull her out. And from that point on, we started homeschooling. And, COVID kind of went away, and then we just decided, wait, this is amazing. We have so much more time. We have so much more time together. They learn so much more in such a condensed time that they just are free to learn so much more. So that's kind of the basis of why we decided to start homeschooling.
So just like you guys, you're probably watching this video to get some intel about how to homeschool. We also were in the same spot. It was actually terrifying because neither of us are teachers, obviously, and the whole idea of it was scary for sure. But we want you guys to know that the easiest thing that you can remember is start at the basics and work your way up. Like, homeschooling is really not complicated, and you don't need to make it complicated. I think the reason why we think it is because we've been so conditioned that it has to be just like this, structured, and there's so many different variations of homeschooling. And
you'll be able to pick and choose and weed out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. But like she said, just once you get into it, then you'll understand, okay, whether that's, textbooks, or whether that's online, or whether that's like a group class that you have with the homeschooling community, whether that's field trips, like there's so many things, whether that's unschooling, or there's a whole lot of stuff that you can do with homeschooling. So you got to just try it, and then from there you can make that choice on your own.
So what do you need to know before you start schooling? Remember, this is not an 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon type of structure, okay? Homeschooling, the amount of time that you need to homeschool your kid can be anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, even less than that.
For your kids, they're gonna learn at their own pace. That's probably the coolest part about it is, if you remember being in school, it was like, okay, this day is this, next day is this, and if you didn't catch that, it doesn't matter because we're moving on, and it became a whole big snowball effect. So for your kids, they might excel in some areas, and it might take more time for them in other areas, and that's okay because you have so much more time to be able to work on the things that they might struggle with to help them not just kind of get at zero, but get way further ahead than they would be normally. We had many times this year, so we traveled to Thailand during school year. We moved across the world.
Went to
Egypt.
And
then in that time frame, our kids still finished school like 3 months ahead of where they would have been had they been in school. So we're like, oh wow. Now if they just pick up and continue on, you can really easily wrap up an extra school year
before even the new school year would start.
Exactly. Technically, you could, for sure.
Yeah. So we started in September and we ended in about April, I feel like.
March.
Yeah.
March, April. Yeah.
So homeschooling is going to look differently for every single family. It's going to look different depending on who's working, who's at home, who has the time to teach, and also homeschooling laws. So we are from Ontario. Technically from BC, but we lived in Ontario, so we follow Ontario's homeschooling laws. And the cool thing about Ontario's laws is there are none. So you can literally follow a UK curriculum, a Singapore curriculum, an American curriculum, whatever floats your boat, and there's like no standard curriculum that you have to follow. So make sure you check where you are, obviously which province, state, country you're in, and follow those rules.
So guys, for the curriculum that we use, we started using the Good and the Beautiful about a year ago, so this past school year. And we found it to be super convenient for us, especially as a family that travels a lot. Or basically, you can get all of the information online and print it or use it however you like for free, or you can actually purchase the textbooks, which is what we do because it's just more of a school type feeling, and plus the kids love having their workbooks. So we've been using it. It's really great. It's like a faith-based school system, so you don't have any of that, as mentioned before, gender politics or that type of stuff mixed into it. So it very much aligns with us as Muslims.
So some people might be turned off thinking that it's a Christian-based curriculum. We have absolutely no issue with it. There's very little mention of Jesus or anything like that. It's more God-centered, I would say. It talks about, God's majesty and, his creations in the world. And it's actually beautiful. Like you can, as a Muslim family, you can easily use this curriculum. And
it's called common sense.
Yeah,
guys.
your kids will get it for sure. Yeah. It's pretty easy. And then you're not also worrying about, there being Halloween stuff or Christmas stuff and that kind of stuff in the curriculum. So the base curriculum for the good and the beautiful is language arts and math. And then from there, you can add on as many science units as you want for the year, as well as history. And it comes with absolutely everything that you need, especially if you do purchase it directly from them. Their books are so beautiful. The kids love them. They're, in full color. They have so many different additional activities that it comes with. And it really just nails home just a beautiful curriculum for kids.
It's good and beautiful. I guess that's where they get the name from.
Also, not sponsored, we just love them. In addition to the beautiful curriculum that they use, they have several apps on their iPad that they are allowed to use. That includes apps like Reading Eggs, which is a great program if your kids are learning how to read.
They've been using that app for years.
Yeah, they started using it, I think, when they were age 3. So
like Amina.
Yeah.
So like 7 years they've been
taught
using
them how to
that
read.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually a fantastic app. And then there's like the sister app called Math Seeds. It's part of it as well. We've always subscribed to them. Then they have an app called Epic, which is kind of like a Kindle, but like on your iPad. It's just like a database of like library books, essentially. Full color, and they really enjoy that as well.
And obviously we supplement in our Islamic teachings for our children. We use the Journey to Jannah program, which has been fantastic. We've worked with them a few times actually, and really love what they bring forth. And we also use obviously Durio Plus, which is a company that we work with here in Malaysia. For education, you can whether you're doing it like, for example, the program that she narrates on Durio Plus is about the seerah, the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him. So you can definitely add so many things in regards to history or just learning about specific instances or specific things in Islam through the good and the beautiful and Durio Plus. It's pretty amazing combination.
If your kids are also keen to learning typing, that's something that we started this year. Amina is learning it with All the Right Type. It's actually the same program I used when I was a kid in the 90s. So I went back to my roots and I was like, let's just use this same program, and it's fantastic.
I think that's what we used as well. I never did it. Still can't type.
I'm a pro typer, so it works. Then you can add on your favorite Islamic storybooks. We love Learning Roots and Noor Kids. That's something that we also subscribe to. They have fantastic books about, character, good manners. Then, of course, our kids love going to libraries. So, go to the library, let them check out books that interest them, and let them just read.
So what does our morning routine look like, or our daily routine? Well, it's slow and structured. So we get up in the morning. Because we work from home and our kids homeschool, we're not really restricted to that schedule. So we get up probably around 8 o'clock and get everybody fed, and then we usually get right to school. And by the time Yusuf's ready for his nap at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, like the kids have been done for quite a while. They've already eaten lunch. And then after lunch, we will jump into either like a science project or do some history. You don't have to be restricted. You want to learn about Alexander the Great today? Let's learn about Alexander the Great. You want to learn about the Titanic? We can do that. Like, there's so many available options for learning about everything that it really makes it easy for us to structure our day in such a way that we can use the best thing that we have in order to teach the kids what we want them to learn and what they want to learn themselves.
And they take, obviously, plenty of breaks. The beauty of homeschooling is they're not asking for permission to use the washroom or to have a snack or to take a break and just play and just stretch out and exercise or whatever it may be. So the flexibility is fantastic when it comes to your own routine. Our core subjects are language arts and math. Those are non-negotiables. We do those every single day. And then, just like he said, we'll add on the science and history and whatever their interests are in throughout the week as well.
So you've got kind of two different styles. You have independent type learning, and then you have more guided style. I think that for us anyway, our oldest in the beginning is very kind of guided, until she picked up how to read fluently, and then it just became much more independent. So we don't really spend too much time sitting with her, core principles and help her to understand those things, and then she just kind of takes it and goes. Whereas our youngest is still, she's, alhamdulillah, she's reading, but she just likes to have someone there to be able to bounce back questions and everything else. So it really depends on your kids. And some, they might like the idea of you sitting there and engaging with them. Other kids, they'll just like to just put their head down and blast through their work. So it really depends on your kids.
And then we always make sure we have, outside time, whether that's going, bike riding or swimming throughout the week, different activities that we could do around the house. And then, of course, field trips. So in Toronto, when we lived there, we were part of a Muslim homeschooling group, and they arranged field trips pretty much once a month. And that's something that we've also been trying to do here as well with the kids, as well as just take them out to different attractions and different places to explore.
We got to go to a chocolate factory the other week, which was pretty cool. The kids got to make their own chocolate bars and see how everything was made.
Yeah, that was
really
cool.
good.
Well, the most common misconception that you'll find for homeschooled kids is, well, how are they going to learn their social skills? You will actually note that homeschool kids probably have the best manners, because not only are they learning to interact with peers their own age, but also they can interact with people of all ages, because they're constantly talking to adults. They're constantly talking to, other peers at extracurricular activities that are different ages. And yeah, so we have our kids in several different activities throughout the week where they get that healthy peer interaction.
Our girls, number one for them is gymnastics. They've been doing it since they were like
1
years old. So recently started parkour, which is pretty cool that they have that ability to kind of, again, just be active, right?
Yusuf is also in soccer, and we also do swimming, and whatever else floats their boat. We love bike riding as a family too. We love going for hikes. Things like that. We also forgot to mention our kids are in art class as well.
Oh, yeah.
But we also have to remember that socialization doesn't happen like it happens in school. The cool thing about homeschooling is kids easily get to pick up how to be a kind person, how to interact with others, because they're in different spaces all the time. So your kids are going to be in extracurriculars with kids that are 3-4 years older than them, or they might be in a program with kids with younger kids. So they're easily able to adapt. Whereas in school, they're with the same age peers for like 8-9 months out of the year. And they don't get to really learn how to interact with older or younger kids.
If your children are surrounding themselves with well-mannered children, parents who are like-minded, versus kids at school where, like I said, bullying is so prevalent, the cliques are so prevalent, peer pressure, social media,
having to feel
all
like
of those
gotta
things.
Be perfect.
Yeah, when you remove all of that out of the way and just let a child be a child and let them flourish in their own environment, it makes for an incredible upbringing. And we've witnessed it. Anybody who knows us, and this isn't to like toot our own horn, but everybody loves their kids because they're so well-mannered, they're so respectful, they're so polite, and they're just amazing. They've never experienced peer pressure, they've never experienced bullying, they've never experienced all of the things that...
Comparison as well is a huge thing. They never have to worry about, comparing themselves to other peers.
They don't care about brand names, it means nothing to them.
It's not, they're able to be kids. And, I just remember going to school myself and just always worrying, oh, I don't have the right shoes, or, everybody has this new bag that they're carrying around and I don't have that, or whatever.
I don't even have shoes.
Right. I'm just, you never have to worry about that societal pressure on your kids. So also, if you don't have any, homeschool groups around you, just create some, get to know some local homeschool moms, and create your own groups. Like when we moved to Malaysia, we started our own girls club, and we do that bi-weekly, and the kids get to just have fun, play together, do an activity, art, whatever that may be.
All that social interaction that the lack thereof makes your children awkward. So.
And final words, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. There's a lot of people that started where you are starting, and you're not alone. Feel free to ask questions, and we'd be more than happy to help you in the comments down below.
And guys, always remember to celebrate those little wins. Don't compare your journeys to anybody else's, because you are uniquely you and your children are uniquely them. It's the silly thing. It's like, oh, my child learned to walk when they were 18 months and mine was 12 months. Guess what? We can all walk. Like, it means nothing.
Who's counting?
Those things back then about who was first to do this, and they learned to read at this age, and it means nothing. They can read. You know? So don't put that pressure on yourself or your kids. Just go with it. Be happy. Enjoy the moments, because as we know so keenly and so vividly, that time flies. So these moments with your children are amazing. They build long-lasting, bonds between you and your kids, and hopefully, inshallah, those bonds will last forever. And yeah, just remember that your time with your kids is limited, so use it as best you can.
And remember that homeschooling is also about life lessons. These are, there's so many things that they don't teach in school that you are able to teach them, whether that's, money management,
taxes,
how to read a recipe, how to cook, how to clean,
start a business,
do the basic things like tidying up and organizing. They don't teach you these things in school, and they're all life lessons.
Morals, now that I think about it, I don't think we covered that much in school.
Just being a good person. How do you teach them to do that? Like, it's not really something that they're going to teach you. That's something you have to do. And you are the best example for your kids. So make sure that you are setting that example first, and they'll learn from you naturally. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a comment if you enjoy these types of videos.
Yeah, and if you have something to say it down below.